What's up, guys? Today we're going to be analyzing Jordan Peterson's criticisms of the pickup artist community. As a dating instructor, I'm going to tell you straight up whether what he's saying is legit or full of shit. So I want to preface this video by saying I'm generally a fan of Jordan Peterson. I like and respect the guy. Now, of course, we are two totally different people. He's quite eccentric. He's a professor. He's into academia. He's sexually very conservative, he says. I'm literally the exact opposite. I'm not big on academia, right? I like debating people on the internet, going out fucking girls, going to the gym, right? So we live two totally different lifestyles. That being said, I do generally like and respect the guy. However, I'm going to very much disagree with a lot of the stuff that he's going to say about the pickup community. So let's get into this and we'll go through this one by one. This is a little bit of an older video, but this is the video that's commonly people react to when they say, oh, the Jordan Peterson says this about pickup artists, right? And some people take it as gospel.
Like, let's say I'm going to pick up a girl in a bar, all right? So I have a goal in mind, and the goal is sort of, the girl is irrelevant to the goal insofar as she could be another girl. So it's a psychopathic goal in some ways, because really.
Okay, this I fundamentally disagree with. If he's going to say that going out and trying to accomplish something without a person in mind psychopathic, then he has to bite the bullet and say that salespeople are psychopathic, right? Because as a salesperson, you don't really care who buys your product as long as someone buys your product. So then he has to say that all salespeople are psychopaths, right? And that's a huge stretch, right? So you can't just say, just because you're going out and your goal is to pick up a girl and you don't really know who the girl is, that makes you a psychopath. A psychopath is someone who understands they're making people feel bad and they don't give a shit. The goal of pickup artists is not to make girls feel bad, because if you make a girl feel bad, she's not gonna go home with you. So it's counterintuitive to literally your goal, right? So he's completely off about this 100%.
Really, because the individual doesn't matter. It is. I'm serious about that. So what I'm going to do, say if I'm a pickup artist, I follow these pickup artists online, because I'm so curious about their use of psychology. And all they ever do is come up with, it's like a whole horde of men talking about how to deceive and manipulate women. It's extraordinarily interesting and extremely.
So this is a very, very old argument. I'm surprised Jordan Peterson's making this, because he's usually fairly, like, I want to say red pill, right? But this is such a blue pill talking point. Pickup artists are manipulative. The goal is to trick and deceive a girl, right? And pickup artistry is a neutral tool. It can be manipulative in nature, or it can be good, right? It's just like sales, right? Sales can be good if you're selling a good product, or it can be bad if you're trying to trick people into buying a shitty product. Pickup artistry is the same way. It's ethically neutral, right? And can be used for good, can be used for bad, right? But you can't just make the claim that something that's ethically neutral is manipulative, right? Because it doesn't have to be. Like, when I pick up girls, there's no manipulation there. And when pretty much everyone else I know pick up girls, there's not really manipulation there. But it can be used in a manipulative way. But again, it's ethically neutral. So he's just making a conclusion that's fundamentally false.
Psychopathic. And also it's very, 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 very unsophisticated and unskilled. Because what the guys are, they're lumps, basically, and what they're trying to do is to acquire the veneer of sophistication. And that's psychopathic. So anyways, that's my little spiel on pickup.
So you're saying that trying to be sophisticated when you're not sophisticated is psychopathic? He's using the word psychopathy very, very loosely. Typically the word psychopathy is used to describe like serial killers and stuff like that. But you're saying, oh, just, if you're not sophisticated, try to make yourself seem sophisticated, then you're a psychopath, or that's psychopathy. Like, that's a very, very loose word of the world and just completely waters it down. So he's fundamentally wrong about that. Also, as a pickup artist, the goal isn't to try to make yourself seem sophisticated. It's to make yourself seem attractive. It's to be attractive to the girl, right? Sophistication isn't necessary. Like, if you look at me, right, I never try to dress up. I usually wear sweatpants when I go out, right? I'm the least sophisticated person ever, yet I'm pretty successful with girls. Because again, it's not about being sophisticated, it's about being attractive. So he kind of misses the point here as well.
Pickup artists, but they're very interesting. So what they're doing is teaching their followers instrumental language. So if you want to sleep with a girl, here's how to do it. Here's how to manipulate her, They have a bunch of tricks, like wear an expensive watch and dress up. And also, don't just dress up, so dress up rich, roughly speaking, but also add something peculiar to your wardrobe, like something that really stands out as somewhat odd. They call that peacocking. So that the girl can...
Okay, so here he also completely misses the boat. Yes, peacocking was a big thing in the pickup community, but that was like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Peacocking has been extremely outdated. This is like if someone is like roasting, I don't know, let's say psychologists, like, oh, psychology is so wrong. You guys do lobotomies, right? Lobotomy is the practice of basically drilling a hole in someone's head, right? And fucking changing around their circuitry. And like, you're like, dude, that hasn't been done in like 90 years. Like, we don't do that anymore in psychiatry, right? It's the same fucking thing here. It's like, dude, we don't do peacocking anymore. Or at least the vast majority of the community, it doesn't believe in peacocking. So he's making an argument against something that's extremely outdated, no one really even does anymore, right? Which just shows you he didn't really deep dive into the pickup community. He just went with very surface level shit. He just probably Googled pickup artists. It's like, oh, here's a picture of Mystery wearing a funny hat. Okay, so these guys are into peacocking, right? You just completely missed the boat that that's not something that's commonly done anymore at all.
See that not only are you rich and successful, but you've got that little bit of individuality that sets you apart from all the other rich and successful guys, you know? And so that's like an Osiris-Horus combination, basically. But it's all bullshit, because the guys aren't like that. So it's, and then they have all these little routines they use that are verbal routines, and they have these guys they go to the bar with to help them with their little routines, and it's like...
Okay, let's quickly evaluate this. So it's like, there's all these routines they use. Again, extremely outdated concept of the pickup community. Yes, routines were a big part of the pickup community. Nowadays, they're completely outdated. Again, it's going back to the lobotomy arguments. Like, we don't do that anymore, dude. Like, routines and peacocking, it's extremely outdated. That's the majority of the pickup community. All the influencers in the pickup space, they don't do that anymore. You'll never see me fucking doing routines, right? What I do is I go up to a girl and I act like myself, right? But I've trained myself to be a naturally attractive guy. I'm assertive, I'm grounded, I'm confident, I'm dominant, right? Those are all traits that I genuinely, like, you know, acquired, right? And I don't really have to put on an act. I don't have to do any kind of routines. All I can do is just be myself, right? And my goal when I go out is just to get into a nice flow state, just to relax, you know, kind of, and just move things forward, right? So typically the first few approaches, it'll be a little awkward, right? But as I keep, my goal consciously is to push myself through that initial awkwardness, and then I just get into this nice free flow state, and then I just basically, I'm just myself, right? And it works quite well. And sometimes I have to be like, whoa, hang on, I've been talking to this girl for too long, it's time to move things forward, right? Sometimes my conscious mind does have to kick in, but it's usually typically subconscious, and that's how most pickup artists operate. In terms of, he's like, oh, they have these guys they go with to do the routines with. You're talking about friends? Like, going out to the bar with your friends? Yeah, of course you could go with your friend. So he's making it seem like it's something nefarious. It's like, oh, they have these guys that they go out with, right? Yeah, it's called having a friend and going out with your friends. There's like absolutely nothing wrong with that. So also a completely incorrect characterization.
It's completely, what are they doing? They're using language instrumentally. They have a goal in mind, which is their goal, and they know that what the goal is, and they know that the goal is right insofar as they're pursuing the goal, and then they're willing to say anything to obtain that goal. Now you think, well, I think that's the instrumental use of language. What do you do?
Okay, so again, this is unfair characterization. A lot of pickup artists are not willing to say anything. For example, me personally, I'm not willing to tell hard lies. So if the girl's like, hey, do you have a girlfriend? And you know, everyone knows I have a girlfriend like Natty, right? I'm not gonna be like, no, I am single, right? I'm not gonna tell hard lies. I may be willing to tell little white lies. Like if the girl's like, hey, what did you do today? And maybe I was like fucking taking a shit for 2 hours because I had diarrhea. I'll probably say something more interesting. I'll be like, oh, nothing, you know, I was just doing some work, right? I'm okay with those kind of lies, but I'm not gonna tell hard lies. Everyone has their own ethics, right? But to basically characterize all pickup artists as willing to say anything, which basically what he's getting at is pickup artists are willing to lie, right? That's not true. There's a lot of pickup artists who have various different levels of ethics, and you don't need to lie to pick up girls, right? Again, this is subjective on your personal ethics. So I think Jordan Peterson is largely completely incorrect about his characterization of the pickup community, and it's pretty sad because I'm a fan of this guy, but when I'm looking at this, I'm just like, yeah, dude, you're completely way off about all these assumptions you're making. So it'd be really fun to get Jordan Peterson on for a debate and go through these things one by one, but I think this is just maybe a case of ignorance. Like he didn't really research this stuff, and he's saying all the things that, you know, he thinks are true, but they're completely outdated. I don't think he's doing this purposely. I just think this is a case of just lack of research and just pure ignorance on his part when it comes to the pickup community. All right, hope you guys found this video valuable, and show us some love by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and clicking the bell for notification, and let us know in the comments what you thought about Jordan Peterson's criticism of the pickup community. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.